Hi there, I'm Michael England, and I'm coming to you for Audiosway.com, the Learn Guitar Online site. Now, playing rock guitar, there's little tricks and techniques that you can use to really make your guitar sound like a rock or a hard rock, heavy metal sound. That's what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover 5 tips that will help you to have a rock guitar sound. So let's go ahead and zoom into our body, and we're going to take a look at some of these techniques. So now we're zoomed into the body of our guitar. We're going to take a look at the top 5 rock guitar techniques. The first one we're going to start out with is called palm muting. Now, a lot of people won't explain this in great detail. Basically, when you hear a lot of rock songs, hard rock, heavy metal, you're going to hear the chords that they're playing first of all, but you're going to hear it get that really heavy sound to it, like this. That's what we're going to talk about, how to do palm muting. Now what you do is, right now we're playing an E 5th chord. So just the open 6th string and the 5th string 2nd fret. And I'm going to take my palm, that's the fatty part of your hand here, and you're going to take it and lay it on top of the bridge, and you slide it over to where it just touches where the strings come out of your bridge and go over the pickups. So right in there. And if you notice as I'm playing, listen to how it starts getting chunkier as I move my hand over. That's how to do palm muting. That's one of the most popular techniques in playing any type of alternative, rock, even blues and other styles of music. But that's really where the heavy metal and rock guitar get its sound from. Now the next thing is very vital to playing guitar. Tip number 2, power chords. If you're playing rock guitar, you have to use power chords. They're called power chords because of having a powerful sound to them that's neither major nor minor chords. Now a power chord, simply put, is going to be, I'll show you one here, the C power chord, or 5th chord as they're also called. We're going to play the 3rd fret with my 1st finger, and I'm going to play here on the 5th string. That's our C root note. That's where the power chord C gets its name, C. Then we're going to put my 3rd finger here on the 4th string, 5th fret, and then I'm going to hide my pinky back here on the 3rd string, 5th fret. And I'm just going to play these 3 notes of this chord. So only the 5th string, 4th string, and 3rd string. And notice as I play this chord. That is a power chord, or a 5th chord, and you hear those all over rock music. Now, the root note for these can either be on the 5th string or the 6th string. That's where you're going to play these chords, these 5th or power chords. So if I move it down to the 6th string, this note is a G, so this is going to be a G power chord, or G 5th chord. And notice as I play a couple of these in a little rhythm to see how the power chords and the palm muting work together. So that really gives you that rock sound. Those are 2 keys to having a rock guitar sound. Now key number 3 is the drop D tuning. You'll hear this all over the place in alternative, rock, hard rock, heavy metal music. What we're going to do is I'm going to take my 6th string and I'm going to tune it down to where it's an octave below my 4th string. Notice how I do this. And if you have a tuner, just tune it down to the D note, which is going to be a whole step below. Now, another way you can do it is to hit the D string, the 4th string open, and then hit your E string open. And you hear how I have those waves in there? You tune it down until you no longer hear those waves. Now I'm in drop D tuning. If you notice, I'm going to play a D chord here, and notice how powerful it sounds. And so you'll hear a lot of bands play rhythms with the drop D tuning. Something like this. So you can really get a nice fat rhythm with the drop D tuning. So that's tip number 3. Number 4 is the Hammer-on Pull-off. Now with a Hammer-on Pull-off, you can really use those in your riffs to spice things up. Take for example, if I'm playing the 5th string, 5th fret, and I strike the note, and then I take my 3rd finger and hammer on to the 7th fret of the 5th string, like this. I just play the 1st note, and then I hammer on to the 2nd. Now if you're going to play a pull-off, it's the exact opposite. You would play the 7th fret, and then pull the note off to make the 5th fret sound. Let me show you an example. I'll play the 7th fret, then I'll pull my finger off the note while holding down the 5th fret. And you notice how it makes that 5th fret sound out. Now how can you use hammer-ons and pull-offs in a riff in rock guitar? Something like this. I'm going to keep with the drop D tuning. Something like that. You can just hammer on to the notes. So I can pluck the notes with my pick, or I can just hammer on. And that's a good exercise for you to practice too, to build up your finger strength, is just hammering on and pulling off those notes. So a good exercise for you to practice. Now our final tip we're going to cover, our 5th tip, is harmonics, natural harmonics. These are awesome to use in guitar riffs. Now if you lay your finger, I like to do my 3rd finger here, right across the 5th fret. It's actually on top of the fret, and I'm just touching the tops of the strings. I'm not actually holding them down, I'm just touching them. And I'm going to play all 6 strings, and notice how it sounds. Now if I play over the middle of the fret, it just sounds muffled. But if I move over the fret, it gets a totally different sound. Now the most common places to do this are the 5th fret, the 7th fret, and the 12th fret. Now how can you use this though in a riff? You can just play around and listen to some things on the radio. I'll give you an example. So you can do all kinds of stuff. Just practice maybe throwing those into your riffs that you're playing. Listen to a lot of songs on the radio and you'll hear those being used especially in a lot of the heavy metal songs. They really like to use those harmonics. And that's going to do it for our 5 keys to being a rock guitar player. Well, I'm Michael England, and again, that's going to do it for our rock guitar tips. Those rock guitar tips can really help you to take those chords and things that you're learning, put them together with some riffs, and give you an awesome sound to your rock guitar. It's really how the pros get the sounds that they do on their albums. Now, if you notice, we went a little fast, and it's partly because of the time, and because these videos are free, I want to give you some valuable information that's going to help you to become a better guitar player. If you need to get in more detail, if you need to zoom in and slow things down and have the printed material that goes along with this, go ahead and take a look at our site, audiosway.com, where we teach this a lot slower. We go a lot slower pace for you so that you really get a grip on what I'm doing, and it also has some printed materials to help you out with following along as well. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this video, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.